1B, come up at an angle to the belly button. 1C, zip up your lower abs. Now push it in a bit, that's 1D. Now, from here, 2, pull the back of the abs into the spine. Okay, now, here's another thing that I've done for kids. I bought 2 pillows that had buttons, okay? So, when the button is in the pillow, that pillow is firm, yep? So I took a seam ripper, and yes, I know how to use a seam ripper. So I popped the button off. Once you pop the one button off, now you have the pillow that's fluffy, and that's what I say, you get fluffy muffy here, and it's out of control. So what I did was I went back and I sewed the button back on. So it's like their belly button, and then, so the button is here, and then you have this round thing here. Does that make sense? And so I go back and set it again. That's all of your abs. And when I put the needle in and with the thread, it comes to the back here, and I sew it into the back, and it comes in, and now this gets nice and firm and controlled. And their light bulbs go off. Does that make sense? Because especially when you're coming into kids, I don't know, how old are your kids at the studio when they start taking jazz? 6? 6? Yes. Okay. They have no clue. They're, you know, they have no clue. And if you have a flexible kid and that back is, oh, they're really, oh, it's really hard. So here's another thing. When you want to correct the ribs out, do not go to the ribs, go to the pelvis. Because as soon as that sits back, that opens. And you can close it for them. 2 seconds later, it's going to, exactly. So again, it's the pelvis, the pelvis will knock this out. The pelvis will roll in their ankles. It'll roll in their knees because it deactivates all this stuff here. Just, I'm telling you, if you get the pelvis in the right alignment, okay? So now, I gave you 2. Now I need to finish it. So face this way for me. All right, so what I want her to do, I want her to separate the spine. For me, the core engaged the right way. I need my spine separated because I need to open up in the spinal cord. You have all of these nerves coming out from the vertebrae. Does that make sense? That feed into all of your organs, but it feeds into your energy for dancing, okay? Have you ever watched a piece and everybody's doing the same thing, everybody's living their life, because what usually will draw you to somebody is their artistry and how honest they are. But let's say everybody in the group is doing that, but you keep on watching and you keep on being drawn to this person. All right, I'm being drawn to this person. Why? It's because of the energy that's coming from their inner core of that spinal cord, and that they're coming out, and they're coming out, and they're coming out in different directions. And this is one thing we need to start teaching our kids at a younger level. And I start hitting on that, I'd say, when they're 12 years old. 6-year-olds, they're not gonna understand that. But what I make them do again, I make them go look up a video of what solar flares are first, okay? And when you look at solar flares, it's the flares that come on the outside of the sun in different directions. But it doesn't originate from there. It originates from deep in the core of the sun, and all that energy comes out that way. That's what they have to understand for their movement. Does that make sense? Okay, now, the next thing I want them to look up, I make them look up a spider web. Did I talk about this last year, the spider web? Okay. If you look at a spider web, it connects in different directions. I'm like a really good spider web, right? It's really, like it's thicker here, but it comes out, but it connects in different positions, okay? And when they have that really good spider web that's going in different directions, what's happening? They're having a feast. That spider's having a feast because he's catching everybody, and that's what I'm saying.